For my media detox, I try to avoid all forms of media throughout the day. I decided to go out to avoid the temptation of checking my phone or watching TV. I struggled with the task, as in the morning I couldn't use my phone alarm, so I had to use a manual alarm clock. And then the next challenge I found was, whilst I was getting ready, I normally listen to music through my phone on YouTube, but because I couldn't have access to my phone, it was just really quiet. It was really weird. I did not like that. To organise the plans and times for the day, I had to use oral communication instead of text messages, which is what I normally do, so it was much more effort into the plans than normal. Because I had to meet my friends at a certain time and certain place in order to get the same bus in a town. Once we went to town, I tried to avoid looking at adverts on buses or in shops and things, but we tried to organise a day where I wouldn't come into contact with that. So first of all, we went to see the house that we're going to live in next year to just see what it looks like and remember how big the rooms are and things. So after that, we walked through town and went to the pub for lunch. We sat outside by the canal, so there was no music. It was quite quiet and like very few people about, so media was not present at all. After that, we went shopping, which was obviously very hard to avoid all forms of media, because as soon as I entered the shop, there were brands and advertisements all over, as well as music playing throughout the shop. After that, in the afternoon, we went on a walk to the Woodland Trail and then to Gallgate. I was quite lucky, it was quite sunny, so I spent a lot of the day outside, avoiding the temptation of the television and my phone indoors. Outside on the walk, it was very easy to avoid media because there was just nothing there. There was just trees, nature. In the evening, I noticed how much I actually relied on my phone, as when I started to cook my food in the oven, I had to time it on my watch, which was not as reliable as it would have been on my phone. After that, I couldn't watch TV, couldn't read a book or listen to music or anything, so it basically forced me to be productive in tidying my room, doing washing, cleaning, things like that. But at this point, I really started to miss my phone. It shows in the journal that I'm quite reliant on text messages, as the next day after the detox, I somehow received 82 messages and sent 51, which is quite worrying how reliant I am on that form of communication. Media journal made me realise how much I depended on my phone to text people instead of talking to them face to face, as a lot of the messages were to my housemates, which is quite worrying that I didn't think it was more important to see them in person rather than through my phone. This can link obviously to McLuhan's message of stating that the medium is often more important than the actual message, as during the detox I really missed my phone, but it wasn't the fact that I couldn't text anyone or go on social media, it was simply I felt really uncomfortable without having my phone near me, which shows that my reliance on it is too great for day-to-day basis. The problem which I faced during the detox was that the university released my sociology assignment grade whilst I was on the detox, so I didn't know that they'd actually done that, so I didn't know my grade or anything. I only found that out from my housemate because she'd asked me how I'd done and had I seen it, when obviously I hadn't even been aware that they'd been released. From doing my media detox and media immersion task, it made me realise how reliant I am on my phone for communication to people who are actually really close to me and nearby. It shows how society has become more lazy today, as we prefer to text someone who is next door rather than going to see them. Even though it's more effective and quicker than going to see them, it's quite damaging to relationships that these are mainly based online or on social media or through text messages rather than face-to-face friendships.